Hold on. Let me take a sip.
For the 7th cup of Christmas, Tori got bangs. And I still look like a dead president, so my hair's not coming down. I need a haircut so badly. Then I'm like, oh, you look so pretty.
When I told you, I just was like, I was not getting up this morning. And then I just needed something to take up time this morning, so I didn't have to leave my house. So I was like, lipstick will take 15 minutes. It's perfect.
And thank you for this.
You're welcome. Is it good?
It's really good. Toasted white chocolate swirl.
Latte.
I'm a fan.
And I've got a, what did I order? French vanilla macchiato. Because I'm
fabulous.
I'm a little more boring than you are, but you asked me to surprise you with some holiday bullshit.
Right. I knew it was actually going to make you crazy because I was like, I don't know, hot and regular milk. And you're like, oh my God, what?
I was like, do you want me to get something? And you were like, surprise me. And I was like, this is my worst fear. Just tell me exactly what you want. And then I don't have to fuck it up.
And I'm sitting there watching it. I was like, oh my God, her brain is swirling like a hamster.
Yeah.
So, oh no.
Yeah.
Just pick me anything, not peppermint. Thank you.
I don't know people that are low maintenance. And
surprise. I needed a different something in my life, and you made it happen. So thank you.
Happy to do that.
Yes, this coffee is delicious,
good.
And the seasonal blend is great. And
good.
Are your bangs inspired by Paris?
So I actually got them before I left, but I didn't really want to deal with them. And now, because I have them, I have to deal with them.
Right.
So now we're on that phase. I don't really know how I feel about them.
I love them.
But it's too late now. And then I noticed Emily from Paris, all of her promos came out. She got bangs. So everybody's like, oh, you did it for that. And I'm like, well, no, actually, but thank you. You do love that show, though.
I do. I do love that show.
And then Jenny Ortega's rocking them like crazy right now because of Wednesday. So I'm feeling very... bandwagony, but it was not on purpose.
That's okay. Being in style or, in a popular space is not necessarily a bad thing.
I've had bangs on and off my whole life. So for me, this is very on brand.
I haven't had a bang since I was a freshman in high school.
Really?
Yes. And that's when we had the bangs.
Oh,
and when we're talking the sausage roll with the curling iron.
Oh, yeah.
And then that, yeah.
Yeah.
I gave that up.
No, I've had them I had them at 2, I had them at 5. I had them consistently. And then I didn't want to do them last year because it's so breakup cliche. Girl goes out and gets
oh
bangs.
my God, she don't got the bangs.
Yeah. So I needed to, I waited a solid year and a half. And then I was like, okay, now I can have them.
Yeah, I like them. I'm a fan.
Thank you. It takes a little bit more makeup though, or I just look dead. So for all the lady listeners out there, you know what I mean? You get a haircut and suddenly everything, your entire makeup routine has to change for just because you got a trim. I don't understand.
My face looks different, so I need to treat it differently.
Yeah, entirely. Yep.
I didn't know that there was a correlation between lip and bang, but apparently there is.
Yeah. Yep. So I haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
It's weird.
We pre-recorded some episodes. You guys knew that because we're wearing the same t-shirt.
Right.
So I haven't seen you.
Exactly.
How's your December going?
Kind of crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, and I still have.
Are you ready?
No.
Have you finished your shopping?
Have I done any shopping? No.
Okay, we're at that point.
No. This is me all of the time. So we'll get into this in subsequent cups. But I figured we would just center this one around travel and this time of year, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your crazy is. How was your actual travel? It's way busier than normal.
It was totally fine getting to Heathrow.
Okay.
It was totally easy. Other than the fact that I sat in anxiety because my flight was at 9:50 p.m.
Yeah.
It was an overnight flight.
Yep.
So I sat in anxiety the whole day because I didn't go to work. In retrospect, I should have taken the day off before and then worked that day so I had something to do that day.
Yeah.
Because I just sat in anxiety and stress and repacked my bags 3 times because you don't do I don't do anything now. I'm all ready to go because my brain is going, you leave this day, be ready. And then suddenly I have 12 hours to kill before you even get on this flight. So that was frustrating. But other than that, the flight was fine. I flew on Virgin Atlantic.
Okay.
Hot take, it is the best airline I've ever flown.
Oh, good.
Definitely full Great Britain vibes, very polite, very nice. They moved my seat because the guy I was originally sitting next to was a dick.
Really?
I didn't even sit down and he was starting to be an asshole. And I was like, great, this is how this is going to
Like,
go.
please.
Oh, I took notes on it because I knew.
Please expand. Yes, please.
I took notes because I was like, she's
The only time anything has ever happened to me like that was this lady was clearly wasted and I was doing a West Coast to East Coast flight. She peed her pants.
Oh, that's not
They
great.
came in and took the chair out. I didn't even know that they had spare chairs on a flight, but they did.
That makes me feel a little bit better though.
Yeah.
Like if somebody pukes and they just like remove the chair.
Yep, they did. They took the whole seat off. And then, like, I don't even know what happened to her. I think she eventually got handcuffed towards some other area of the
was she
flight.
drunk?
Wasted.
Oh.
And obnoxious. So that's really the one and only time. And I mean, it was a little bit entertaining. That broke up like a whole hour of the flight because that was just a show. It was on a reality show, like one of those terrible ones that you're like, oh, this is not good.
So this was one of those moments where I was like, I'm in a fucking sitcom. By far.
It broke up your flight, I'm sure.
So, no, I didn't even sit down.
Oh.
So I go to sit down and I'm in the end of the middle.
Okay.
You know, it's like 2 and then 4 and then 2 on the other side.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on one side of the 4 and the plane is not full, but there's this guy sitting on the other side. Jeans, blazer, Kansas City hat. We're in Boston. And I have not even like put my bag down. And he looks up and he says, hey, where are you traveling from? And I was like, here we fucking go.
Okay.
But I'm like, you know what? It's my vacation. We're off to a good start. This isn't going to be, it's going to be
Positive vibes, positive vibes.
So he says to me, well, I say, well, here. And he goes, Boston? And I said, well, Cape Cod, but I'm here. And he goes, oh, so you're rich. And I was like, what?
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 Okay.
I didn't understand.
Yes, the Kennedys. Everything is the Kennedys.
And he said, I don't know
Yachts.
anything. I don't know anything. I'm from Kansas City. And I was like, oh, okay.
Clearly, I know that. No one else would wear the Kansas City hat, you doof.
Yeah. And then he was like, where are you going? And I was like, London. Like, we're on a flight to Heathrow. Why are you asking me this question?
Like, wow, that's weird. Me too.
Yeah. And he says, oh, just London? And I'm like, now I'm like trying to be nice because I'm like, clearly you want to have a conversation with me. So if I just like turn on like sweet sugar and I like am a little bit nice to you, and then you'll like get your fill of me and you'll be done. Right?
That sounds horrible.
But it's true. So I said, well, I'm also going to Paris. And he was like, oh, have you ever been? And I said, well, yeah, I happened to have gone when I was younger. Right? And he goes, younger? You look young. How old are you? And I was like, and we're done here.
45.
This is motherfucking, and now the flight attendant looks over because I could see her perk up like, ooh, this man did not just ask this girl how old she is. And I said, something along the lines of like, I'm never going to tell you how fucking old I am. Who the fuck would ask that question?
Did you drop the F-bomb?
Oh, completely. And he goes, whoa, dropping an F-bomb. And I said, well, you're in Boston, baby. And I sat down. And then like a few minutes later, the flight attendant comes over and says, oh, so your friend up in the forward section, if you want to move. And I was like, yes, I would love to go be with my friend.
Wow.
Thank you. So then I got bumped up.
All
So
right,
it was
then.
like, I have no good advice to people who are dealing with assholes on the plane. I just don't. I don't.
Well, you have an advice. Just don't deal with them.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I happened to be on a very empty flight where I could move.
Oh, okay.
So that was super helpful. Did I need to swear at him?
No.
Yes.
But I mean, did it work? Yes.
Whoa, little thing. Didn't know she was going to drop the F-bombs. Oh, and then I like heard him call over his shoulder. You know, he like leaned out of the seat. You know what I mean? To like talk to his friend who was like diagonally behind him.
Ew,
and
and he had friends too and was still bothering
I think he
you?
had to have been traveling for work. I didn't even ask. Leaned over and was talking to his friend and was like, oh, this little thing is cute. I was like, I can fucking hear you when I'm 6 seats away.
No. Don't
so
do it.
shout out to Virgin Atlantic who like saw that situation, was
She's
happy
like, I've
to
got
move.
this girl.
Yes. Moved me, was great. And then by the way, they had the nicest pillows and the nicest blankets.
Oh.
And I tried to sleep through pretty much everything else. But the service was impeccable. The plane was incredible, even in economy. So my advice is take Virgin Atlantic.
Awesome.
That was it. That's all I got.
I love that for
Delta
you.
on the way home was not as similar plane, but not as nice. And it was American team, so they were just
Right.
as polite and nice. The pillows weren't as nice, okay?
And that's really what it's about, the pillows.
What do you got over there before I get into trying to get my ass home, which was its own? disaster?
Well, that's the whole part about traveling. I'm just like going through like different stuff. It's just plan time. Plan to spend extra time in places. Yeah. You said you repacked 75 times.
Yep.
I mean, just be as organized as possible, I think is what it is.
And plan for the worst.
Yeah, millions
Budget
of travelers.
for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So my flight home was a disaster.
Why? What happened?
So I bought round trip tickets from Delta Virgin Atlantic from Heathrow. And then I was in Paris, so I had to take a puddle jumper from Paris to London. Well, London has apparently a thing called freezing fog.
Okay. I did not experience that. I did also go in August, so
yeah, freezing
fog.
fog.
Hopefully they didn't have freezing fog then.
By the way, nobody could tell me exactly what freezing fog was. And I was like, I'm from New England. Like, we would have this if this was a thing.
Right. I feel like we would have that,
right.
Sure.
So I didn't quite understand why it was so problematic to literally everything.
Yeah.
So of course, they prioritized all the flights coming in and out of the country internationally.
Yeah.
And outside of the European Union. And then all the flights coming in from the European Union were delayed. So I planned for this. I planned for like a small delay of some kind because the flight from Charles de Gaulle to Heathrow is like the equivalent of New York to Boston. Like it's a puddle jumper and they do 6 of them a day.
Right.
So I planned for this. I did not plan for 5.5 hours of delay.
Not fun.
Which then did not affect my flight home from Heathrow to Boston. So I missed my flight home from back home to Boston from Heathrow. And there are 2 separate airlines. They didn't want to do anything for me. So I had to like pay for a hotel room, pay for transportation, pay for a whole new flight. Didn't get home for another 24 hours. It was kind of a disaster. Ugh. But I did see it snow in London, which was insane. And I was actually in, that Heathrow was on the like way outside on the west.
Yes.
And
there's nothing out there.
No. And
it's the airport and you.
Because all the flights were having a problem, and then all of the trains were. People that were like had flights out the next morning were all getting hotel rooms and stuff the night before because all the roads shut down, all the trains shut down. Like the country had no idea what to do.
That's it. We're done.
A quarter of an inch of snow.
God, that's awful.
So everything sold out. So the only hotel room I could get was on the east side of the city. So I had to take a whole hour and a half long Uber. And it's not like in Boston or even in New York or some of these areas where like you can go around the city and come in the other way, or you can go like over the top and then dump in, or like underneath and dump in. Like you can in Boston, they don't have a tunnel or anything. So you have to drive through the entire city of London to get to like one side of it. Mm-hmm. So it took me an hour and a half in an Uber, which is typically a 20-minute ride from the airport to.
So fun.
Yep. To the hotel. The hotel sucked. I'm not even going to name it, but it was just awful.
Oh.
And then, but I mean, I got to see snow in London and that was cool. But like, other than that, it was a fucking disaster. And then everything the next morning was closed. It was like pure miracle that I found a random cab on the side of the road that agreed to take me to the airport.
And the whole cabs are so much better than ours.
No, this was like sketchy New York van cab. I was like, I might die. This is like I survived this whole trip and then this is where I go.
This is how I end.
Yeah. Like texting my friends that I knew were up on the East Coast and cops in the middle of the night. Like, can please just text me through this.
Just in case.
Yes. So, like somebody needs to be accountable to me because it's 2 in the morning in the East Coast. It was an absolute disaster.
Oh, I'm sorry you had that experience because I definitely did not. But I mean, I guess you got to see snow in London.
Yeah. And, it was cool to see all of the hotel, like everybody came out. Restaurants shut down, and then cooks and waitresses and the entire hotel staff, everybody was just like standing in the middle of the street looking up.
Yay. I like
cool.
that. Those are fun moments.
It was very fun, but it was not worth the extra grand it cost me to come home to see snow in London. But...
Well, it's an unforgettable experience, and if you would like to have a less than unforgettable experience, just make sure you travel light. You pack everything that you need right away.
Saving grace was to not have had a checked bag.
Yep.
So never again will I check a bag if I'm going for a week or less.
Do my very best
never
not to.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
That was everything. Don't check a bag. Just be nice. Stay away from the assholes and plan for everything to go wrong.
And we'll all survive our holidays.
I would love to know where people are going. If we have followers out there that are like, oh, I'm traveling to, I don't know, somewhere. Just tell me. I want to know.
Somewhere warm, please. Share it with us.
Yeah. If you're going to, what do they call them? Aloha Christmas? Right?
Yeah.
Is that real? Isn't that a thing?
Sure. Aloha for you. I'll stick with my snow and and my family traditions. But
I'm being such a princess talking about the inconveniences of riding in a can through the air at 30,000 feet to go to experience a different culture.
That's it.
In a different history. I'm being such a brat. So I'm just going to ground myself.
we're going to get back to you and another cup. 7th cup of Christmas. We're still here. Travel lucky.
I made it. Good luck to you.
Yay.